Apple just released the iPhone 13. Let's dive into it on the next Mix of Tech. Hi guys, welcome to Mix Tech, where I review technology for the consumer to prosumer, and I give my take on the things I see. With this video, I'm going to go through which iPhone 13 I'm going to get, and hopefully that'll guide you in the direction of which you should go with for your decision on your iPhone 13. Now, I want to keep this fun. Make sure to comment below. Let's continue the conversation, and if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. All right, let's talk to my highlights on the iPhone 13 that came from the keynote. First off, all iPhone 13s come with the A15 Bionic Chip. And the only difference in the iPhone 13 versus a Pros is the 5th core in the GPU, which is going to be nice for graphics. A cool little feature that's accessible on all iPhone 13s is the cinematic mode, which allows you to be able to control the focus on which subject you're trying to focus on. There's some intelligence on this, which looks pretty cool, and I'm excited to try it out. But one thing that Apple didn't tell you in the keynote is it only works for 1080p at 30 frames per second. That may limit some of your capabilities, but hey, I'm shooting this video in 1080p. One of the great things about the iPhone 13 is the base storage is now at 128 gigs versus what previously was there at 64 gigs. This is great for consumers. It should be plenty enough storage. For the prosumers out there, now you have an option on the Pro line to get up to 1 terabyte. All the iPhone 13s come with a Super Retina XDR display, and for the Pro model, which is for my prosumers, you get up to 120 Hz of adaptive refresh, which allows you to get down to 10 Hz to save power when you don't need it. The iPhone 13 brightness has improved, so on the typical iPhone 13 experience, you're going to get 800 nits and a peak of 1200, whereas you'll get 1000 on the Pro line and 1200 as peak. All the iPhones come with Wi-Fi 6, which is nice, but I was hoping for the Wi-Fi to be improved with 6E. The iPhone 13 Pro is the only way to get the telephoto lens. It also comes with some cool features in having a macro lens, which allows you to get really close into subjects and focus specifically on the subject, which is going to be great for photography and videos. One of the cool features for pros and for myself is you'll be able to create and edit in ProRes with the iPhone 13 Pro. They all have MagSafe as they did in the iPhone 12s, but they also still have Lightning, and I still don't understand it, Apple. Come on, USB-C would be fantastic. You just provide that on the new iPad mini. Why can't our iPhone 13s have USB-C? All iPhone 13s were internally rebuilt so that they could have a larger battery, which should lead to better battery life. We'll see. I'm going to test it once I get my iPhone. All right, so on to it. Which iPhone am I getting? First, let me say if you have an iPhone 12 or an iPhone 12 Pro, this isn't a big upgrade, and I wouldn't recommend that you do the upgrade unless there's a feature in the iPhone 13 that's really important to you. Now, if you have an iPhone 11 or iPhone 11 Pro, this is probably a significant upgrade or a decent enough upgrade for you to make that decision. So keep that in mind when you're making a decision on purchasing the iPhone. I typically recommend for most consumers to look from 2 to 4 years to upgrade your iPhone. For prosumers, every year to 2 years is probably reasonable. So with this is more of a want so that I can help build content for my channel versus a need. I really don't need this. My iPhone 12 Pro Max works great. As an iPhone 12 Pro Max owner, I kind of was limited on my decision in general because I want a 6.7-inch screen. The only option on the iPhone 13 is to go the Pro Max option, so that's where I'm going towards just because of the screen. Now in the iPhone 12 Pro Max, there was a difference in the optical zoom in comparison to the Pro, so there was an upgrade advantage between the Pro and the Max last year. In the 13, there really isn't that advantage, so really the only difference is in screen size that I'm getting. Now in color, I had Pacific Blue for my iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I'm not really as fond of the new blue, and I actually like the graphite. So I think I'm gonna go with the graphite, which looks really nice. Now in storage, this is always gonna be difficult. I think for most consumers, just get the 128, enjoy that as the base storage. For me, I'm actually creating a lot more content on my phone and actually leveraging it with my drone and my Insta360 Go too. And I always find that I'm capping my storage at 128 gigs, so I need more storage so that I can do more content. So right now I am looking at the 512, but I might go to a terabyte. I think the 512 is a great option for me based upon the cost and what I'll get with my trade-in. For me, I'm not going to connect it with a carrier, so I'm going to have it unlocked, and I'll do that later, and I'm hoping I can use an eSIM option, which is available on the iPhone 13. Plan to trade in my iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is going to be a huge advantage for me when I'm purchasing this through my Apple Card. Now, I typically don't like to use installments for my phones. I like to pay them outright, and I've done that with my iPhone 12 Pro Max. Plan to use my Apple Card because of the trade-in value that I get with this model. And for $25, this is something that's reasonable for me. Now, this is something you'll have to make a decision on based upon your situation, your carrier, and what you're looking to do. But for me, this seems reasonable based upon the trade-in value that I'm getting using the Apple Card that I have. Now, the last thing that I have to make a decision is on Apple Care Plus. I've been very fortunate that I haven't had to use it in the past. So I'm gonna wait, and I have up till 90 days to make my decision. And if I do, I'll just pay for it outright versus adding it into the monthly installments. So I'm really excited to get my iPhone 13, and I wanna hear about your excitement as well. Make sure to comment below. Let's continue the conversation on the iPhone 13. I hope you liked this video, and if you have, make sure to hit the like button. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more great content like this. Thanks for joining Mix Tech.